everyone, welcome to the KukieKnits Podcast. You're watching episode 26. My name is Ira and I'm your host, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Sydney, Australia. I'm mostly a knitter and I cross stitch and occasionally quilt, and this is where I share my knitting and making journey. Welcome. If it's your first time here, hi. Please consider subscribing if you like what you see. I'm also available on Ravelry and Instagram as KukieKnits. And let's jump straight into the content. So starting with my finished objects, it's been a weird couple of months for me knitting wise, but I have got 3 finished objects. So the first thing that I finished is the Lytham sweater by Lily Kate France in the colorway Boysenberry. This is Bendigo Woolen Mills 10-ply luxury, and I knit this for my friend as her wedding gift sweater. I just have the picture of it on the blocking mats. She sent me like a quick little picture of her in it, but not like a proper one where you can see the sweater. And she's super happy with it. I have knit this one before, and actually the last time I knit this, I was still doing my slip knits wrong, and I must say the lace looks really beautiful when it's done correctly. And then I was a bit worried about the length of the sleeves, so I did knit them a little bit shorter because it's Bendigo Woolen Mills luxury. One of my friends in my knitting group said that she knows somebody whose sleeves grew like a crazy amount after blocking, so I was really paranoid. I was telling my friend, like, if the sleeves reach your ankles, my bad, because they're bottom up and there's zero chance that I was going to be fixing that up. So I knit it a little bit shorter, and then it blocked out to about the length I was hoping to get it to, which was again a little bit shorter than her arm length, because it's also a bell sleeve, can get heavy with wear, can stretch with wear, so just to leave a little bit of room. And she said that when she's wearing it, the sleeves are perfect. Great, so I'm happy with it, she's happy with it. That's the Lytham sweater by Lily Kate France. And then the next finished object I have is a test knit. And this is the Nephele sweater. Oh wait, I didn't go through what I'm wearing. This is the Abydos top by Lily Kate France. And it's a super cute cropped summer top. I've knit this in Fibre Natura cottonwood, and I don't know what the brand of the mohair is. It's a little short, but can't blame anyone but myself. Okay, so the Nephele sweater. This is a test knit, and I test this for Hanna Luebben. She is also known as Herb Garden Knitwear on Instagram. I've knit a few summer designs for her, but not a jumper. And then when I saw the test called for this jumper, I was like, oh, that looks beautiful. And I had some Bendigo Woolen Mills rustic 4-ply that I wanted to use, but I could not get gauge. So this is what the finished object looks like on me. I'm very happy with the fit. There is a little bit of stuff that I did different with this one. So the yarn is from a cone. It's JC Rennie Supersoft Cashmere. I think it's 5% Cashmere. It's really nice and soft. I like the wool. And I still have this much of the cone left, so expect to see a little bit more of this color coming up. And so I looked at the size chart, and the sweater was recommended with like 30 or 40 centimeters ease, which was way too much for me. So I kind of picked the size that was closer to the size that I would wear, the max, which is I think 120 centimeters circumference. I'm about 100. That's about the max I would wear. Anything bigger than that is not my vibe. So I downsized it, I sized down, that's the word I'm looking for. And then I started knitting it, and the neckline is an I-cord that you sort of knit across. And I was stressed that I wouldn't be able to get my head in, but actually after blocking, I can. So I got a lot of feedback on Instagram about people liking the fit of this on me. So if you're planning to size down, keep this in mind. Neckline is snug, especially if you're like me and have a huge head. In hindsight, I would have knit the I-cord on one, maybe even two sizes bigger needles, I don't think it would have made a difference in the long run. And then you just, you know, keep the same number of stitches and you just pick up the same number on the bottom, and I think it would have given you a bit more room because there's literally no give in the neckline material. And then I was knitting, you know, down to connecting the armhole, and I was like, oh, that's cute, it fits. And then Hannah was like, oh, I hope you've taken the armhole circumference into consideration, because it's actually designed to have a pretty snug fitting arm, but like loose and boxy on the body with the boat neckline. And I hadn't even considered that. So if you are going to size down, just knit the body a little bit longer before you join in the round. I had a feeling I was barely going to be able to get my arm in. And then the cables also continue down the side. It has this beautiful split hem. It looks so nice on. It's starting to get a bit too toasty in Sydney for me to wear this, but hopefully you can see in the pictures. And then when I was doing the arm, I actually knit it on a bigger size needle because I knew I was already playing very arm chicken with whether my arm would fit into the sleeve, and it's on a smaller circumference. So I actually decided to size up, and I picked up a couple of extra stitches here to give me some room, and I started the decreases a little bit lower down than she said, just so it cleared sort of the part where my arm's the widest. And then I sort of just did a slightly sharper rate of increase, and then my arm fits in perfectly, like no problem. That fits in really well and it looks great. I'm super happy with this. I was quite nervous because the whole thing is knit on 3mm needles. I did the arms on 3.25, but I was nervous that with the risk I was taking, it wasn't going to fit, but it fits beautifully. The yarn is soft. It really softened and bloomed after washing. And I love the pink color. I love the heathered pink. You can see little flecks of other colors in here, like hints of purple and blue and white, and it's like not a flat tone. It's so beautiful. I'm really happy with this. I really love the design too. Like, I wouldn't mind having another one in this one, maybe at the actual fit that she recommends with a like slightly more rustic toothy yarn, because I like how the neck is not all the way up. I think it's a beautiful jumper, and this is available now. It's the Nephele sweater by Hanna Luebben. And then my last finished object, I've literally been knitting on nothing, are these fun socks for my mum. And these are the French Connection striped socks from Summer Lee's book, the first one, the sock project. I use leftover yarn. This is Knit Picks Hawthrone, like the kettle dyed one. And then the purple is Jokamamo Textiles Lavender Field. I was really playing yarn chicken with this. I was getting so close to finishing the first sock. And I was weighing the orange, and I definitely was getting really close to not having enough to do the other one. So I actually started the toe color like a few rounds before I started the toe decreases. So the toe is a little bit, the color of the toe is longer than usual, not the actual toe decreases itself. And I think I had like 1 gram of yarn spare, the orange one, when I finished the other one. So yeah, it's cute. I was going with the orange and purple theme, but it's definitely giving Finding Nemo. My mom and my sister like to wear woolen socks to bed, so especially my mom has the same size feet as me. I have a size 6 or size 36 size foot. So with a 100 gram skein, I can easily get 2 pairs of shorties out in my size. So I usually knit 1 pair for myself and then use the leftover yarns, knit it either for my mom or for my sister, and just make like fun, crazy color combos. Pretty simple socks though. I don't think I would be knitting them any cabled or color work or lace socks to sleep in. But just playing around with fun color combos because they're just sleeping in it anyways. I don't think they would mind. So I'll keep that until I see my mom. French Connection socks by Summer Lee. That's all my finished objects. I really don't have much going on. And then let's move on to the works in progress. So the first thing I'm doing is I'm test knitting a Lily Kate France pattern. This is the Winnie sweater, which is currently in testing. She has a Winnie vest out, and this is the sweater version that I'm testing. I'm using this fun, wonderful yarn. Oh my god, I love it. This is Bendigo Woolen Mills Woodlands, which is a discontinued yarn. I think I got it a few years ago. This was one that I bought to give my husband to give it to me for Christmas or my birthday. And I was telling him, oh, I'm using the yarn you gave me for Christmas last year. And then this is the same yarn that I'm using in white for my advent calendar. So it's definitely 2 Christmases ago. And I was like, oh, I had it in my stash for a while. But waiting for the perfect pattern to come out, and it has. So the Winnie sweater is a V-neck sweater with lace on the sleeves and the bottom and in the neckline, and the lace is this beautiful pattern. So this is the same lace that she has in her underlace top, and I love the look of this vest, and I was hoping she would come out with a pattern with a sweater version. I think I'm going to make the vest version too, but the vest is done in 8-ply cashmere, the really popular cashmere that everyone's using at the moment. And it's sort of designed more to be a top. I think it's called the Winnie top, not a vest. I would wear it as a vest because 8-ply is way too hot for me to wear as a summer top. And then the sweater is also 8-ply, which was perfect because I have a lot of 8-ply in my stash. And I remember when I was knitting this lace in the underlace tee, it has it around the collar. You kind of cast on and do the lace separately, and then 3-needle bind off with the stitches on the edging. I remember having a really tough time with the lace. I'm not sure why. There is like short rows in the lace on the sleeve of the underlace top. And I feel like it was because I think I did like a tubular cast on or some cast on that really spins around. So even though I knew that I was having a tough time with that lace, and this whole jumper has that lace everywhere, I still decided to knit it because I love how it looks. And then in this one, it just says to do a long tail cast on. I actually can't remember what was going on with me because this was so straightforward, obviously. I had no issues with it. So I'm doing the sleeves first, just in case I don't have enough yarn. And then I will finish the neckline lace and then do the body. And I'm so excited about how it's looking. I love a pink yarn. I love a rainbow tweed. And I love this design. So that's how the lace is looking on the end. So beautiful. Very excited for this one. Been getting some good knitting done on this because it's just stockinette in the round at the moment. Pretty straightforward. This is the Winnie sweater by Lily Kate France. Keep your eye out. It should be coming out, I think it's early November. And then my next work in progress. So there's a couple of reasons why I feel like I'm not getting any knitting done, and this is definitely one of it. I am knitting the Skye sweater by Wallin, and the yarns are Knit Big Palette. I think the gray is Ciel, and then the blue is no, the gray is Mist and the blue is Ciel. So this has been a project that I've been, wanting to make for years. I'm quite happy that I'm getting some work done on it. So I knit up the body. Oh, every time I look at it, it's so beautiful. I really need to finish it. Okay. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Okay. So the problem is I'm not feeling motivated to knit on this project. Whenever I look at it, I'm like, I want this sweater so bad. I don't know, something about the sleeve is so boring. Like this like textured knit, and I always have this problem with like a complicated chart reading full body jumper. I just lose motivation for it. And I know like I'm not enjoying, this bit, I was like, shoop. And then this bit, oh, I don't even want to pick it up. And I know once I finish this sleeve, then I have to do another sleeve. So knowing that I have to do this twice is really, really not motivating me to knit. However, I only have one of these chart holders. I use the Knit Pro magnetic chart holders to follow along on my charts. And I want to cast on other projects, but they all are like cabled or something that I need the chart or color work. And I know if I take this off the chart, I will, there's zero chances of me picking this up for like a year. So I'm like forcing myself to knit on this. I'm knitting on this, and I'm mostly obviously knitting on the stockinette project. But I'm forcing myself to knit on this because I want to finish it. And I mean, it's looking beautiful. So I shall continue. I just keep finding myself, and the other reason why I'm not knitting much anyways is because my cross stitch project is really close to finishing. So I'm like either cross stitching, or if I'm in the mood to knit, I'm knitting on the stockinette. So I have told myself at least a couple of evenings a week I will knit on this. No excuses. And I will do this, and I'll finish the other sleeve. And then there's only a few rounds of this like textured cable, and it's really not a hard pattern. I just lose interest in super complex pattern, and I have to put it down for a year. I realized that about myself. There's a few in the yoke, and then it's just color work, which should zoom by. So like, I gotta get a move on this thing, okay? The Skye sweater by Wallin. Other than that, it's been pretty smooth going with the pattern. I'm not having any issues knitting it. Loving the fabric, loving the color combination. And I've been avoiding knitting on this so much that I pulled out a stockinette old whip that hasn't seen the light of day in a solid few years, because I just want to knit on something else. So I pulled this out mostly from my knitting group for when I'm knitting in person. This is my Summer Breezy tee by Jane Balle, who is mindful making. She is a Danish designer. She used to live in Australia, and she was a part of my knitting group, but she's moved back to Denmark, and we miss her very much. And this is, the yarn is Juniper Moon Farms Findlay Dappled, and it's a 50% silk, 50% merino, lace weight, color changing yarn. And this is knit on 2.75 millimeters. It's pure stockinette, and I've actually been not interested on knitting on this in a long time. And however, since I've picked it up, I've actually split for sleeves, and I'm on the body, and the yarn is so fun. It's so fun. But I don't know what else I would do with this yarn. So I am going to make this project however long it takes. But this has been my travel project for a while. Like, the yarn is so fun. I feel like this kind of stuff was in like 2 years ago. Not that I follow fashion trends anyways. But I feel like that's what I was inspired by at the time. I'll just keep working on it while I'm avoiding my other projects. Breezy Summer Tee by Jane. Jane has a few really cute summer top patterns, especially in 4-ply if you're interested. I've knit the gum nut tee from her, which is really cute. And then this one, the fabric is beautiful. It's just taking long, and it's on small needles, and it's just stockinette, which I also get bored of. And then my next work in progress, I'm just knitting some socks. I like to have a sock sort of on the go, and I've actually Not been inspired to knit on this either, so I haven't touched it in a while. This is a ruffled sock. And this is from the Shorties set by Summer Lee. It's her ruffled Shorties sock. It's in the Shorties set that I think I bought the 3 or 4 patterns together on Ravelry. I'm using Bendigo Woolen Mill's multicolored sock. So it's a beautiful pastel-y shade, color changing. This is in the colorway French Macaron. I bought it when I went to Bendigo 3 years ago now. And I've tried knitting a ruffle sock before in another yarn, and I hated how it looked, and I hated how it looks on my feet too, actually, because I have huge calves that start right at the ankle, and I feel like for a ruffle you need a little bit of leg before your calf starts, which I don't have, and I feel like it really makes me look stumpy. So I don't know why I cast this on again. I was actually thinking I'll knit it, and if I hate it, I'll give it to my youngest sister that lives in Melbourne. However, my middle sister has now started sewing. She's opened her own Instagram account, which is very fun, and she's obsessed with sewing. And because of, as it goes, she's looking at sewing stuff, and she's getting, you know, crochet inspo and knitted inspo, and she loves these cute little knitted socks. She was saying she was going to Japan and she'd love to have a couple of like cute knitted socks. And I was like, well, actually I have this on the go. And if you like it, which she does, I can just knit it to her size. Both my younger sisters have the same size foot, and it's just a little bit longer than mine. So my plan was to give it to one sister, and I guess my other sister can get it. My middle sister lives in Philippines, so there's not much use for woolen stuff for her. So I tend not to knit much for her. But if she asks, you know, sure, why not? So I will get I think she's going to Japan in January next year. And I told her I'll knit her 2 pairs of socks. I need to get a crack on so that I can ship them to her. And she likes shorties too, probably because she has identical calves. Probably she has bigger calves than me, which is saying something because she's shorter as well. So she wants shorties too, which I was like, perfect, because I don't like knitting long legs on socks because it takes longer. And then my last work in progress is the main reason why I really have not been knitting, is my cross stitch. So this is the Lady with a Fan, a painting by Gustav Klimt. And I got my knitting pattern from the Art of the Stitch. Sorry, I actually have an active needle and thing in, but oh, okay. Let me put it out off the stitching so you can see that I am really close to finishing it. So I'm like down to the last, I wouldn't even say a quarter because I've got quite a bit done in the last quarter. I'm down to this bit. And I find it so like fun to just finish, like when I'm at the end stage and you can see the whole picture and you can see the end line inside, the finish line inside. It just motivates me to cross stitch so much. And I started this year, or maybe like end of last year. This is my 2025 cross stitch, and I knew I would finish it this year because it is a lot easier than the Starry Night I did, because of the stitches, you know, being in that swirl, like 2 of a color and then here and then there. This one has like big blocks of color, much easier. And it's looking so beautiful. I can't wait to finish it. So I've just been motivated to cross stitch. Not being motivated to knit at all, and any patterns that I am feeling interested or motivated to knit needs my chart reader. So I've got to get a move on this. Just trying to inspire myself. It's so beautiful. Okay, that's my finished works in progress. Okay, my acquisition section. Last month was Bendigo, which I didn't end up going. And then this month was Fiber Fest, which is the Knitting Guild New South Wales, like the biggest, I think it's the biggest yarn festival in Sydney, which they hosted in end of September. Okay, so last month was Fiber Fest and the month before was Bendigo. It's October now, which I went to. And I think I definitely had some feels about not going to Bendigo, so I made a couple of purchases, and then it just went downhill. Okay, I'll just talk you through it. So first things first, I did a yarn swap with my friend from Canada, JJ, and she sent me some really fun yarn, so I'm going to pop that in here. Hi everyone! I have a yarn swap. We're doing a yarn swap opening. So I am doing a yarn swap with my friend JJ, who lives in Canada. She had a friend who was coming to Australia to travel. Her friend mailed me the package, and I'm mailing my package to my friend, and she'll take it back to JJ when she goes to Canada. Figured I'd open it with you. This is actually so exciting. I haven't done a yarn swap in a long time. Starting off in this very cute project bag from Waxwing. Oh, I love it. So let's open the yarns first. I have two self-striping sock kits, and they are both Taylor Swift themed. This one is Folklore. Oh, the colors are beautiful. And then this one is 1989 Folklore. Oh, that's beautiful. And this is 80% merino, 20% nylon. So standard sock yarn. And then 1989. Oh, I love that. And this is from Tiny Human Knits, hand dyed in New Brunswick. So that's the two sock yarns. We had decided on one sweater quantity and one sock or shawl quantity. And then here's my yarn. It is vacuum sealed. Hold on. So I've got 4 of these from Waxwing. Oh, I love the color. Look at that shade. Look how crumpled they are from the compression. Ooh, so it's from Waxwing. This is 100% Canadian wool. I think the color name is Heron. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, it's quite like a rustic feeling, single ply with little flecks. I love that. I love that. And it's 4 ply, I think. I asked for 4 ply. Yep, 2.5 to 3.25 millimeter needles. And I've got 4 of them. I can't wait. Seriously, how beautiful and rustic is that? And I love the label. Like, I love the label. And that's the same picture that's on the front of the project bag I have, which is so exciting. Okay. And then we have, oh, I have another yarn. Merino Nylon Stellina Fingering. So it's another sock yarn. Wow. I better get to knitting socks. Oh. It's like a sparkly sunset. Oh, that's beautiful. And this is from strandeddyeworks.co.uk. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. And then, oh, there's a little card. How fun. Oh, there's a really nice long note. I'll read that once I'm not filming. And then we have some snacks. Have some chocolates. And some wine gums. I've actually never tried these. I think I saw them when I was in the UK, but I haven't tried them, which I'm quite excited because I do like wine. And then the project bag, of course. I'm so happy. I love all the yarns. I love all the yarns. Oh wow. I feel so spoiled. Thank you, JJ. I love it. Thanks. Weren't those yarns fun? And I thought I'd show you what I sent her. So I sent her a sweater quantity of this Fiber Naturally alpaca. It's 4-ply with pink sari silk in it. The colorway is called Candy Kisses. And I am using this at the moment to knit another stockinette small gauge project that I haven't touched. But I loved how the yarn was feeling, and I think it's such a unique, fun speckled yarn. So I sent her a sweater quantity of this. Plus Fiber Naturally is a small business, you know, with their own alpacas and their own mill. And I think they've done, their yarns are beautiful and soft. And they've done a great job with the tweed blending on this one. And then the other thing that she asked for was a shawl quantity of a possum yarn. So I got her some of this Zilana Kauri. Sorry guys, it's so cloudy outside and I feel like it's really washing out all the colors. Zilana Kauri. And it's a 4-ply, 60% New Zealand Merino, 30% brushtail possum, and 10% mulberry silk. So all the possum yarns always come from New Zealand because possums are protected possums, not opossums. They're different. Possums, which are marsupials, are protected in Australia because they're native to Australia. However, they're an introduced species to New Zealand, and they, I think, like mess up the biodiversity over there. So they cull possums. So they do use possum, you know, yarn from the, they make possum yarn from the culled possums in New Zealand. And I sent her 5 of these. She wanted 2 skeins, and these come in 40-gram balls, which is really strange. But in this beautiful color. It's looking very purple on the screen, but it's actually a little bit more pinker than it's showing over there. The color is called Red Winer. And I actually bought a bulk pack of this, like a pack of 10. So I sent JJ 5. And I have 5 for myself. And I have no clue what to make with it. Maybe a shawl as well. I'll see what JJ makes. Maybe we can have identical projects. Yarn feels lovely and soft. And I chose the one that has some extra silk in it because I knew she wanted it for a shawl. And I figured it would be really nice and drapey and beautiful. So those are what I sent her. Plus this is an additional purchase that's going into my stash. And then I go to the knitting meetup after going to Bendigo, and for some reason a couple of my wonderful friends in my knitting group bought me yarn from Bendigo as a gift, which was so sweet. It's so sweet. So Emina bought me a couple of skeins of the new Bendigo mohair. So it's called Bendigo Lilt in this beautiful sea foamy green color. The color is called Celadon. And it's their mohair. It's 70% mohair, 30% silk. I realized I don't like holding mohair double with wool for my jumpers because I get really hot. But I really like stuff like this where, and I don't find this itchy at all either. I usually find mohair all throughout and I'm feeling hot, really itchy. Makes my skin prickle. But I never have an issue wearing it this way, held single. So maybe I will use it to make something like this. I think Joanna Colibri, I think that's her knitting designer name. I've never knit anything from her, but I know she has a whole jumper that sort of stripes with wool and mohair. Maybe that would be a good use for this one. And then she also got me a skein of the Bendigo multicolored sock yarn. This is in the colorway Warm Sunset. And this colorway is so up my track. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. And then she also got me another sock yarn. Honestly, I feel so spoiled. The knitting community in general, but also like the knitting community in our knitting group that we've been, I think it's been going on about 3.5 years, almost 4 years. Just the best people, just the best people. And this is Woolen Works. She's a hand dyer based in Melbourne. I have some of her yarn in my stash from her Barbie collection. And this is 80% merino, 20% nylon sock in the colorway Syd, SYD. And I wonder if it was a special colorway for Bendigo or something like that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Very up my alley as well with the colors. You can't go wrong with the bright with pink in it for me. So I got these from Emina, which is so sweet. And then my friend M, who also went to Bendigo, got another sock yarn for me. She is currently going through a phase of really liking Maximu yarns. They're an Australian hand dyer as well. And I had bought her and my friend Ine and me 3 of the same sock yarn at Fiberfest last year, so we could knit like the same yarn but socks, different pattern socks. So she bought us this colorway, and it's called Hay Fever, I think. Yeah, it's called Hay Fever, which is a little bit too on the nose, because in the past couple of years I've definitely developed hay fever and I'm in denial about it. So I got my tonsils removed a couple of years ago, and since then I think I have hay fever. And I'm dying. It's hay fever season. It's spring here, and every morning is just incessant sneezing. But isn't the colorway beautiful? Oh, I love it. So sweet of M to get me on. Thank you, M. I still have to decide what sock I want to make with it, because it has to be something special. So that was all of my Bendigo purchases. Bendigo acquisitions. And then there was the big Knitting for Olive Palestine fundraising yarn sale day. Me and a couple of other people in our group put in a big group order together, and I'll show you the stuff I got. I am super excited for all of these projects. So firstly, I got 4 skeins of Knitting for Olive Heavy Merino in the colorway Dove Blue. And this is to make a vest for my sister for her birthday, which is at the end of the year. But December is peak summer season, so I'll probably just get it to her before it gets cold. This is my sister in Melbourne. Before it gets cold. I really like Heavy Merino. It's non-superwash, nice and soft to the touch. And it's one of those non-superwash merinos that really attracts like all the dust and hair. Like it really sticks to it. But I think the feel of the yarn and their colors are always nice. Like I think it's a fair enough exchange to just dust my knitting once in a while, I guess. Dove Blue, absolutely beautiful. And then I got 3 balls of knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the colorway Pink Daisies. Absolutely gorgeous. So this is the Pure Silk. I finished a Pure Silk project in my last episode, and I love wearing it. It's beautiful, it's soft, I didn't mind using the yarn. So I bought 3 of these to make the Calm Down Cami by Lily Kate France. It's a V-neck summer camisole, and I think it'll be beautiful in this color and in this material. Oh, I have mohair in my nose from the mohair. And then I got 4 skeins of Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino. This is the colorway Blueberry Milkshake, and they keep showing this on Instagram ads, and it really got me. The color is beautiful. It's looking a bit more blue on there. It's a little bit more purple, like a little bit more like a blueberry milkshake. Honestly, they're on it with the name. And I am going to be knitting the Fern Tee, which is also a pattern by Knitting for Olive, which I also bought during the sale. And this lovely, lovely color. I haven't knit, I have some cotton merino in my stash, but I haven't knit with it yet. So no opinions on the yarn yet. And then the last one I got 5 balls. Oh, I love it. of their just merino, 4-ply merino in the colorway Poppy Blue. I love this color. So I got this to make another sweater, which I've knit before. I have a new knitting chest of drawers, so it's so easy to find stuff. So I want to make another one of this. It's called Sonetto by Yamagara. And this is one of my, I also knit this in 4-ply merino. Honestly, most worn and definitely most complimented knit. It is so beautiful. It's got wrap stitches to make this sort of flower motif, and the twisted stitches. And then it's got a flower motif on the bottom in the ribbing. Absolutely beautiful. And I want another one in this colorway. Oh my god, I look like the brightest person on this planet right now. Hang on. So I'm going to make another sonetto in this gorgeous poppy blue. I can just picture it. It's going to be beautiful. Maybe I should start that because I don't think I need the chart reader until I get lower down. And even then it's quite a basic lace. I reckon I could do it without the chart reader. Because that's the only section you need the chart reader. I reckon I could do it. Sonetto. Beautiful. That's all of my Knitting for Olive group order. And then I was in my feels about not going to Bendigo. And I saw this lady on Ravelry D-Stash who was selling yarns at, honestly, so cheap. I'm not sure why she's selling them. Hopefully it's not because she can't knit anymore, which is sad. I always dread to think of the day that I can't knit anymore. But she was selling Cascade 220 fingering, 2 sweater. This one has 5 skeins, and they're 50 gram skeins, I think. But they're 4-ply, so you can actually get a bit done. So this in this shade of red. Can't remember what it's called. Maybe I'll pop it down below. And then this 4 skeins in this lovely blue there. And she was selling them for like $4 a skein. And I was like, you know, I have to get it. Because I want to do more 4-ply, I want to do more color work, and I think having these in stash is not a bad idea. And then, do you guys remember, was it last episode, where I'm dying to make the tulip loop sweater by Other Loops. I love the look of it. And it's an Aran weight yarn, and I usually never buy Aran weight yarn. I can't, honestly, I find DK too hot, but I still wear DK because I want to not be knitting 4-ply stuff all the time. And I bought this yarn, Debbie Bliss Angora, off my friend on Ravelry. And I bought it, and before it had arrived, I realized I actually don't have the yardage for it, and it's out of production yarn. And she had put the color as red. So I went on to Ravelry and I found another lady who was selling, I think, 5 balls of red. And I was like, oh, perfect. I can just use that for like the ribbing, and it won't matter if it's a different color lot. So this package arrives, I open it, the colorway is maroon. I think it's wine. It's definitely not red. And then the 5 arrive after, and I literally just peeked a little hole in it, and they're bright red. And I actually can't find where it is in my stash cover, but I have it somewhere. And I was like, do I just make a smaller cropped version with this color? Because I love this color, I love the yarn, I love the pattern, I want the pattern. But I only want that pattern. So I want it exactly the way I wanted it, like what I was envisioning, the fit, the length, which is why I bought those extra 5. So anyways, I just put it all in the cupboard without having to think. And then I was looking at the D-stash of the lady that sold the cascades, and she had 13 balls of the red colorway. Red. 13. So I bought it. So now I have like like 16 or 17 balls of it in red, which I can definitely make the tulip loop sweater in the size and the fit I envisioned. And I can use this because this is still a sweater quantity, just not for a cabled, you know, heaps of positive E Scandinavian loose fit jumper. And I can use it because I love this color way more than the red. The maroon, the wine is up my alley. So I'll have 2 Aran weight jumpers that I won't know where to wear. But yeah, so I bought it. Okay, I bought it. And it's finally happened because I know I have a bit of yarn, right? And I know I have a bit of yarn and I'm always like, it's all right, I'll get through it. I have projects attached, like, you know, I'll be knitting probably till the day I die. But once all of these yarns arrived, and I had them just sitting on the bed for like 2 months because it's annoying to put them away and then bring them back out for the podcast. And just looking at them sitting there the whole time, I was getting so overwhelmed. And I was like, I have a lot of yarn. And I was already doing a no-buy this year successfully. But I think I'm going to continue it next year. And I think the other reason why I'm feeling guilty about all this yarn is because I'm actually not finishing much knitting because I'm not in the mood to knit anything I have on the needles at the moment. So I will force myself to knit so I can get through a bit more of the yarn. I also bought yarn for myself to give to my husband, to give to me for Christmas at Fiberfest, which I'll show you closer to Christmas. But yeah, I got to get some knitting done. And I have a fun little acquisition that I don't feel any guilt about. I went to the Barara Woodshop Festival. Barara is a suburb on the outskirts of Sydney where my husband grew up, where my in-laws are from, and they have sort of like a local fair called the Barara Woodshop Festival. They have wood shopping and stuff. And I had gone last year, but I don't remember seeing this stall. But my husband's bought stuff from them before because they have like the Scottish and Irish background. Like he has a little pin or something with one of his ancestral Irish or Scottish houses. He has ancestral of both. And so I know they're a stall. So we were there and my husband was looking at stuff. And then I realized they had cute little like cross-stitch stuff. They had keychains, they had coin pouches. And I really ummed and ahed. I was tossing and turning. But I realized I'm going to go to that stall. I'm going to go to that festival almost every year. So I can just pick them up later, you know. But I got this cute little cross-stitch bookmark. It's a medieval queen. I think she's so beautiful. And it comes with the threads and the, you know, the bookmark itself. And she's so cute. I'm a big history buff. It's probably not even accurate. I don't think medieval queens were allowed to have their hair out. Definitely not. But a cute little bookmark project. So this acquisition I feel no guilt about. That's it. That's my podcast for today. It's very acquisition heavy. I honestly was going to wait a little bit longer till I finished the Winnie sweater to show you guys because I only had a couple of finished projects. But the yarn pile sitting here was driving me crazy. I need to put it away. So here we are. I think for Christmas, my husband was giving me yarn, but I don't think I'm going to ask for yarn from my in-laws because I actually have too much yarn. I need to get some yarn out. Next year, I'm also going to do a no-buy, no exceptions. I will finish 4 or 5 projects before I even think about if I feel like it or if something comes up, buying one quantity. That's my plan for next year. 5 projects and then you're allowed yarn. If it's something I really want. I better get to knitting. Bye-bye.